What's going on, guys? It's Dan here. Welcome to another DanQ review, Supershow. Today we have two games on the lineup from last month. Well, actually, yeah, last month. I apologize for being a little delayed with these reviews, but I've been catching up. This is pretty much my last one before the final game review of the year, so that's awesome. So anyway, today's games on the lineup, we have Family Guy Back to the Multiverse and Call of Duty Black Ops 2, okay? So let's start off with Family Guy Back to the Multiverse. I'll just kick it right off with the summary. Family Guy is available on Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, and PC. It is an action-adventure game developed by Heavy Iron Studios and published by Activision. Alright, so what should I say about Family Guy Back to the Multiverse? Now, one of the main reasons why I picked this thing up, why I decided to play this game, is because I like Family Guy, okay? I'll admit, I don't watch much TV anymore just because of my schedule. I find it, I don't like watching live TV. Does that make sense? Like, I'll sometimes go and watch a favorite show of mine, maybe on Netflix, or if I have the seasons on DVD or Blu-ray or whatever, I'll watch it then. But, I like Family Guy. I like watching it, okay? So I get the jokes, I get the events that happen, that sort of thing. Now, what is this focus around? Well, I don't know if you guys ever saw the episode, I can't remember the actual title of it, but it's called To the Multiverse or something like that, Into the Multiverse or Introducing the I can't remember. Basically, it's, the whole idea behind it is where Stewie and Brian basically go to different parallel universes that coexist with each other, where everyone's realities is completely different. Like, I remember there was even a Disney reality of all the Family Guy characters in Disney style. So like everyone's in sing-song and the art style is all similar, and you know they had a futuristic one and same premise. Like, it's actually, some of them are pretty funny, and I would like to make a mention of that right away here. The game is funny. I mean, if you don't watch Family Guy, you're not going to get a lot of the jokes, but if you do, then it's funny, and I'm going to say that. It is a funny game. I mean, I do like it, but, you know, like a lot of the references from the show is in here, and if you, like I said, you watch the show, you're going to get it, you're probably going to laugh quite a bit. If you don't watch the show, I don't know why you'd play this game then, you'd be very, very confused, because a lot of the jokes are circulated around the best Family Guy jokes, you know what I mean? Okay, so that's what's good about this game. Let's move on. Okay, so, Family Guy, Back to the Multiverse. Let's talk gameplay. The gameplay in this game is basically a third-person free roam kind of thing. Where basically what you do is, it's kind of sandbox style in a way, but you're given levels, okay? So you're given one level that you do a certain amount of stuff in, and you can do side quests like, you know, maybe collectibles, you know, finding stuff like that. And I don't know, whatever the case may be. It's basically all about collections, right? And once you're done all your collecting, whatever, you can continue with your main story and move on to the next universe that you travel to. Trying to stop, why can't I remember his name? I'm so sorry, I can't remember. It's Stewie's, like, half-brother, I believe. I can't recall, I'm sorry, I don't remember his name. But, you're basically trying to stop him, that's the whole thing, and Stewie destroyed him in a recent episode. I think it was like a 2011 episode. Someone's probably going to correct me, but he killed him in that episode, spoiler alert, but in this universe he did not. So basically he's trying to take over the rest of the multiverse by building up an army to take out the regular universe that they all know. And so you follow him around to different universes, trying to prevent him from creating this army. Anyway, the gameplay, like I said, that's basically the idea. You know, you get a set of goals, and then you complete the task. You can do the side missions like collectibles, that sort of thing, and then you move on to the next level, which is whatever the case would be. It jumps universes. One problem with the gameplay, it is shitty as hell. It is the most repetitive, like, boring, annoying gameplay I've ever done. Like, honest to God, like, it's very simple, don't get me wrong, but it's just moving around and shooting. There's nothing else to it. It feels really repetitive, it's mad boring after a while. The only thing that really changes are the environments, and even then, it's the same thing each time. Yes, you get new weapons, and you get new abilities and things like that, but they're so dull, and it's all the same. So gameplay, this game sucks for gameplay. It's so bad. Like you have no idea how boring it got after a while. One of the very few things that kept the gameplay interesting was the comedic elements that referenced the show. And even that got annoying. What do I mean by that? Well, yeah, when I first started playing the first couple levels, I thought it was funny. You know, I mean, right away I could tell the gameplay wasn't going to be all that great. But what could you expect from a Family Guy game? It's going to be focused around the comedy value, you know, not so much gameplay. And I understood that. I got that. I knew this thing wasn't going to be a Game of the Year contender by any means. But what do I mean by the jokes get stale? Okay, well let's say, for example, they make little comments when you kill somebody, Stewie and Brian, and also when you achieve something. I think each character has maybe 5 different quotes that they say, and I was getting so tired of hearing the same quotes after each kill. And you kill guys pretty easily. It's so easy to kill people, and you're just like, oh my god, I don't need to hear this again. Like, I just heard it. You know what I mean? Like, shut up. And even the villains say the same thing in each universe. Like, or the enemies that you're fighting say the exact same crap. And it's so annoying to hear it. Like, you have no idea. Like, I was just losing my mind just listening to Stewie say some of the things he said. Like, he had one jingle. I'm not going to say it because it's annoying. I think it's annoying now. But he would say it over and over and over after every kill. It'd be like every second kill I'd get that thing. Well, I'm exaggerating, but like every 5 kills, I'd get that quote. And I'm just like, what? Come on, this is so irritating. So, the gameplay, horrible. Horrendous. The comedy, it's there, it's funny, but it gets so tiring. It's drawn out, it's repetitive comedy. I know it sounds kind of odd, but they basically recycle the jokes in different universes, and the quotations that we hear all the time become very stale very quickly. So that's a huge downside about this game. You know, it's hard to play through this thing itself. Alright, now, how about the campaign? Like, is the idea there? Like, the story mode? Yeah, it's there. Nothing, but the story mode isn't really special. Like, honest to God, there's nothing really special about it. You play through the game, shooting enemies, changing environments until you meet your ultimate enemy. There's no in-depthness. I know it's not supposed to be, but it could be a little better. And, like, the platforming in it is really irritating, you know? I remember this was one moment towards the end of the game, I think the second last mission, or second last chapter, or whatever level, there was a platforming element, and you had to work with zero gravity as well, and I just couldn't get it. Like, it would be so bad, because, I don't know, the platforming was really poor in it too. It's just bad gameplay. I'm sorry, I don't know how else to explain it. How long is this lovely adventure? Well, here's the thing. I beat the main story in 10 parts. 10 parts. I've had multiplayer segments that have lasted longer than that. So basically, I think the game is actually probably, if you do it like boom, like without any fault, start to finish, you're probably looking at about 3 hours, 3.5 hours, something like that. I think it took me, I think it was like a 10 parts at 25-minute parts each or so, maybe some half an hour. Maybe like 4 hours, 3.5, I'd say it was more like 3.5 hours to beat this game. Like, that's not a chance, you know. It's way too short, the single-player campaign. Because that's what this is focusing on. Yes, there's drop-in and drop-out co-op, but do you know how frustrating it would probably be with 2 people? Like, I mean, yeah, it'll probably make things speed up a bit, but would you want that? Do you know how much longer it would take? You know, you're battling enemies that do not stop. Like, if you're trying to get from point A to point B, infinite enemies, they don't stop coming at all. They just boom, 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 right till you're done, you know, right till you achieve your goal. So there's no point in sticking around killing all the enemies. You might as well just go right to your objective and kill them if they're in your way. But, like, see how annoying that could get when you're trying to, like, disarm a bomb, let's say, and every time they shoot you, it resets. So you have to clear it out and quickly do it, or they'll come out and shoot you. So it's just really irritating, you know. There's no way of really doing it. So you have a short campaign, poor gameplay, with some jokes that they recycle, you know what I mean? It's just hard to get through this title, like, it really is. Okay, you know what? They do have a challenge mode and a multiplayer mode, okay? Challenge mode. What's the point? I mean, it's basically the same levels, trying to get a certain number of kills and anything like that. There's really no point to it. I guess you could go for achievements. Yeah, I get that. You could go for achievements or trophies or whatever, but it's so boring to get them, like, you won't want to try. And you know, the challenge is, like I said, they're like, get this many kills or kill this person at the end of the mission. But they're the same repetitive gameplay, same repetitive missions. Like, I don't know what else to say. It's so dumb. Like, it's retardedly boring. Like, I can't explain it. Alright, one last mode. They have a multiplayer mode. I was ready to gear up. You know, I think it'd be kind of interesting, even though the gameplay was kind of bad, it'd be interesting to see how it would play against other people online. My mistake. No online multiplayer. What? Are you serious? I went to play and I selected my game type and it let me pick my character and there was a screen of 4 players, okay? And I thought maybe, okay, that's in case you wanted to have 4 people play online multiplayer or something like that. You know, you had guests or whatever, friends over. And I'm waiting for it to start and I'm realizing, wait a minute, there's no connection here. So I pick up my case here and I look on the back and I see Xbox Live, downloadable content. That's it. It doesn't say anything. All it is local co-op and local multiplayer. So you have to have somebody with you to play this multiplayer. And I'm like, what? So screw that. That's why you never saw multiplayer gameplay. When am I going to play this by myself? I can't always just call a million friends over to play a shitty game, you know what I mean? Like, it's not that easy. So there's no point. So really, when you think about it, if you don't have access to, like, people who can come play with you at like any time, there's going to be no point in doing this co-op or do the multiplayer. So it's worthless. I mean, I don't get the point of this game. And you know what? This is not a cheaper game. It's a full $60 release. I mean, if this game was worth maybe $30, then I'd give it something better. But you know what? $60 for like 3.5 hours of gameplay, and that's it pretty much. Like, does that not seem wrong to you? And the gameplay isn't even that good. It's bad gameplay. It looks like it's been thrown together by like a 6-year-old. Like, I'm sorry, I don't mean to offend. You know what? I do mean to offend this. Come on. What the hell? You delayed the game and you couldn't make it even better? What did you delay it for? What were you working on? Were you guys getting drunk? I don't get it. You know what I mean? Like, so this game is probably one of the worst games I've played in a long time. I mean, besides the fact that it's got the funny elements for those who watch the show, it's got nothing else going for it. I mean, if you got rid of the Family Guy brand, this would probably get like a complete. This wouldn't have sold. Let me tell you, the only reason this sold was because it was said Family Guy. There's a lot of there's a huge Family Guy fan base out there, and they don't really have many. I don't know if they do have a couple Family Guy games out there, but they never did all that well. And I think this was a direct sequel to one that came out a couple of years ago. I don't know. I don't care. I'm sorry, but this is kind of a disgrace to the Family Guy name. I apologize. To anybody who has had the misfortune of playing it, I know a lot of people were watching my gameplay and saying, "Oh my god, I can't wait to play this game." Trust me, don't get your hopes up. If you bought it, I apologize. You probably already know it sucks, but that's just it. Bad game, terrible gameplay, boring, short, no like online multiplayer. Basically, you're playing with yourself for like 3.5 hours of crap. Nothing else to be said. So what's the verdict on Family Guy? You know what? I was debating on what to give. I'm like, yeah, it's kind of average. I'm like, wait a minute. No, it's not. It's not average at all. It's like balls. So what do I give Family Guy? I'm giving Family Guy Back to the Multiverse a pathetic 3 out of 10. This game is horrendous. Like, I'm sorry. No one should play it. It's like, I mean, yeah, it's good for a cheap laugh, but then you're done after the first 5 minutes. If this game was like $10, $20, then go buy it. Yes. But it's a $60 title. There's way more. Like, look at Skyrim. That was a $60 title. Look how much good quality gameplay and content you get. Why did these guys get off scot-free? Because they put in like no effort in their game. I don't understand it. So please avoid this game. It is not just because it says Family Guy doesn't make it good. It's actually really, really shitty. So please avoid this. Now there's a funny comment that Brian actually made in this game, and they did like a direct parody on themselves. And basically they're like, when you beat the game and you defeat your enemy and everything like that, Stewie basically goes, so is that it? Yeah, I mean, I guess so. Hopefully we won't see him again, blah, 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 right? I mean, like, and then I can't remember who says what, but like, there could be a sequel. And, you know, we can, like, because Brian's like, this is the end then, right? And it's like, no, Stewie said there could be a sequel if the people like it. And then Brian said back, so I guess this is the end then. You're right, it is. Don't make another one of these crappy games unless you put some actual effort into it. Like, this is just... It felt like something out of the 1990s, you know what I mean? Like, it really did. And I know that the 90s were groundbreaking. This is 2012, people. and you delayed the game and you couldn't make it any better. And the online multiplayer, if you made that, I'm sure you would have upped your score a bit. Not by much, but I'm sure it would have been giving people something else to go back to, because there's like no replay value at all. The collectibles aren't even that fun to collect. They're really dull and boring. And the challenges, they're just balls. I'm sorry, that's it. So Family Guy Back to the Multiverse gets a 3 out of 10. Terrible game. Please refrain from ever playing it. Ever, okay? I'm doing you a favor. That's why I play them, so you don't have to, okay? Unless they're good, then I recommend. But anyway, on to the next title. That's Call of Duty Black Ops 2. Something more mainstream that everyone loves, looking forward to the next Call of Duty game. Before we get into anything, let me fail at closing this case that children close every day. There, okay, I have a messed up case. Anyways, Call of Duty Black Ops 2 is available on Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, PC, and the Wii U. It is a first-person shooter developed by Treyarch and published by Activision. Okay, Call of Duty Black Ops 2. Now, you guys know me. When I remember one of the first Call of Duty games I played was Call of Duty 2. And that was when they were doing World War II based games. I loved Call of Duty 2. The multiplayer in it was phenomenal. I loved the gameplay. I was actually really, really good at the multiplayer. I was badass. Like, no one could beat me. You know, it's funny because everyone would put a scope on their weapons. I'd go iron sight. I was boss. I would snipe with iron sight because I would just prefer the challenge and I'd be better at it for it. But anyway, that's not the point. So I've been a Call of Duty follower and fan for a long time. Call of Duty 2 and then Call of Duty 3, which kind of sucked. Call of Duty 4 was really good. Call of Duty, and then Modern Warfare 2. And after, I'd say, a year after Modern Warfare 2 released, it started getting ballsy. And I'm talking, yes, I enjoyed Modern Warfare 2. I thought I had a lot of fun with it. But then they started dragging the games out, and they just seemed kind of rushed. Well, at least that was the case with Infinity Ward. I remember playing Black Ops 2 years ago in 2010. Treyarch basically came out from a Call of Duty 3, which kind of was actually pretty bad, especially in terms of multiplayer. Actually in terms of multiplayer. But they came back with Call of Duty Black Ops, fresh idea, new, they did different things. I still didn't like it that much. Modern Warfare 3 came out. That game was just ass in a can. I'm sorry, but I gave it a high rating because I didn't know how to review games back then. Last year, even then, I was starting to get into the gradual reviewing phase, and I wasn't very good at it. And there it showed by I think I gave Modern Warfare 8 or something stupid like that. It probably deserved a 5.5, maybe 6. But anyway, that's not the point. It's Call of Duty Black Ops 2. So after having played the games that I never really enjoyed, I go into this game kind of, surprised, baffled. I'm not sure what to make of it. I don't know. Alright, let me tell you something. First thing I start off with is campaign. That's usually the thing I do. They're not overly long, and I have faith, they're going to be pretty generic, so I don't really expect too much from them. Call of Duty Black Ops 2 surprised the living hell out of me. This is probably one of the best campaigns I've ever played in a Call of Duty game. I know people would say, because I ended with in a Call of Duty game, that doesn't say much. Call of Duty 2 had a phenomenal campaign. That was long, you know what I mean? This rivals that campaign. This was solid. I love the environments in it. I loved the new style, how they were doing flashbacks and in the current was 2025, I believe. And it's all futuristic, except it's believable futuristic stuff, you know what I mean? It's not over the top. Because we're in 2012. 2025 is 14 years from now. Or am I just stupid with math? No, that's right? No. No, it isn't. I don't know, I hate math, I sucked at it. Maybe 13 years. I think it's 13 years. Yeah, that makes sense. 13 years from now, and it's believable technology, because it's military. Military's already very advanced as it is. You go from one thing, from using these rappel things to whip each other and cling to the wall to flashing back to the 1980s or whatever, and you're riding horseback. That was a new element, horseback. And then you jump back into the future, or present day I should say, and you're doing a new thing, jumping out of a plane with a hang glider, except you know what a jet looks like, an actual fighter jet? You had that on your back. I was whoa! You know what I mean? The levels were good. The characters were really interesting. Especially your main villain. He was a villain you love to hate, you know what I mean? Menendez. Everyone hated that bastard. I certainly did. And there are things you can do in the game that change the course of of the ending. So there's decisions in it. So it's kind of an interactive sequence, because I think there's a total of 4 endings, depending how well you do in the campaign. And there's certain smaller events that don't really change the ending, but they do affect how the game kind of ends. You know, if a character's going to be around or not, or if they got killed or whatever. I don't know how to say it. I'm not going to spoil anything, but I'm sure everyone's played this game by now. But anyway, you'll know what I mean. Like, it's got such an interesting campaign. You know, I was thrilled with it throughout. I thought it was a lot of fun. So, and the thing was about the campaign, it's actually not 3 hours. It was probably maybe 6. I think it took, I know that sounds funny, but for a Call of Duty game, that's amazingly long nowadays, because it's focused on multiplayer. And therefore, I was surprised. I'm like, wow, this actually was pretty decently long. I'm actually happy with it, because it may have been a somewhat shorter campaign, below average campaign in terms of length nowadays, which is actually becoming the average campaign length, which is pretty sad, because 8 used to be the average, 8 hours used to be the average campaign, and now it's dropping. But 6 hours for a Call of Duty game, a good Call of Duty campaign, I was happy with it. I was like, you know what? That's all I needed. I did all I needed. I got what I wanted. I mean, some of the endings I chose may not have been the best, but justice was indeed served, you know what I mean? So I was happy with this campaign, and I really did have a lot of fun with it, and there's a lot of interaction with it. So good campaign, good job. Trey, good job with the campaign. I'm happy with it. How do I feel about the multiplayer? God damn, that's fun stuff, man. I had so much fun playing the multiplayer in this game. And it's different, it's new. One of my favorite aspects about this multiplayer is the environments. Every single environment I've ever loved in a video game is thrown into here. There's one on a cruise ship, well, or a giant-ass yacht, one of the two. Tropical mansion, you know what I mean? I love mansions, I love the cruises, I love the big office buildings, they have that too. Then they have their rugged outdoor maps and stuff like that. It's a lot of fun. Like, honestly, each map has great detail and a lot of innovation. Not to mention all the game types you can choose from. There's so many, and they're all greatly entertaining. And the whole fact about, well, there's nothing really new in terms of what happened with the last Black Ops. There's still a lot of customization, but the emblem customization was advanced, and there's way more guns you can use. There's way more perks you can get now in terms of combining. Like, you can have up to, if you don't have any attachments on your weapon, don't take a pistol or grenades or anything, you can have like 7 or 8 perks. It's ridiculous, because you could stack out your guy with a max amount. So however you like to play, you can customize it accordingly with whatever weapon. I thought that was really, really cool. And at first, yeah, I sucked at it, but I started getting gradually better and better as the game went on. I was really happy with the multiplayer. You know what? I could probably play this for another long time, but time constraints prevented that. So I was so happy with the multiplayer, you know what I mean? It was so much fun. I could see myself putting in many hours into this game, which surprised me. Like I said, Call of Duty games rarely change, but this thing did advance stuff and put in new environments, new campaign that was really good. Kicks the shit out of its predecessor with Black Ops, the first one. Like, my God, like, dude, nothing compares to this game in terms of a campaign for Call of Duty. Like, nowadays. Like, Modern Warfare 2, nothing. Modern Warfare 3, nothing. This game has an amazing campaign that I would probably go back to if I had the time. Like, don't get me wrong, I really would. Alright, let's move on to zombies. Now, I know what you're thinking, Dan, you didn't do any zombies. Alright, let me explain why. I tried. Like, honest to God, I tried so hard. I actually set up a time, got home from work, went to record some zombies, jumped into a game. The one thing you can't run from in Call of Duty are the bastards, the assholes, the dickheads, whatever word you want to use. So basically, every time I join a game, because I've never played the Black Ops Zombies on Black Ops 2, I couldn't play with anybody. Everyone would either quit because I'm too low of a ranking or whatever the case would be, but they'd be right out assholes about it. Like, I don't know. Like, I can't remember the name. I think it was called, well, actually, right now, I think there's only one map you can really do. I think you have to unlock them, or you'll probably have to buy them later, which will be pretty lame. But I believe it's called In Transit, or just Transit. Yeah, Transit, that's all it's called. It's basically a stage level where you take buses to different stages. And the thing was, when I never played the damn map before. So I had no idea what I was supposed to do. So everyone hopped on a bus and didn't say anything, and I'm busy killing zombies, and I didn't know. So next thing you know, they take off and they're making fun of me for not knowing. Well, excuse me. I didn't know because I don't play this fucking zombie shit all the time. Like, give me a break. Apologize, but it really got on my nerves because everyone would rage quit mid-game and I'd have to be left for myself trying to fight off zombies. Like, that's fun to you? Not to me. So, you know what? I never really liked Black Ops zombies, or Nazi zombies, or whatever you want to say. I never really liked them. And it has nothing against Call of Duty Black Ops. It doesn't. It just seems stale to me. There's so many zombie games out there, is that you get tired of them. Like Dead Rising, I got so bored of that game. And it's not because it's a bad game, it's because I find it repetitive. Same deal. Like, I mean, Walking Dead's a completely different story. But, like, where you just mindlessly kill zombies, it gets boring. I'm sorry. A lot of people love that to death. Thing is, for me, I could tell from the maps that I did play that they advanced on the zombies mode. But people love that gameplay, so there's no real reason for me to say the zombie sucks, because I just don't like the zombies mode, so it's not fair for me to say that when a lot of people like this mode. Because I could tell, I did play the zombies in Black Ops, the first Black Ops. It's way improved in Black Ops 2. So the fact that there's an improvement on something that people already love, why should I shit on that? Just because it's not my style. Like, I did play for, I think, maybe an hour. I think it was an hour I played, but I kept getting bad experiences with these assholes. I know a lot of people have been like, Dan, I would have played with you no problem on Black Ops Zombies. I would love to. You know, we'll help you out. We won't kick you out. We'll actually help you get to the end. You know what? That would have been a great idea. Only downside is, I had no time when I was doing it. I was so pressed for time, it was ridiculous. So unfortunately, I couldn't get any Black Ops Zombies uploaded, but I can tell you, it's not my cup of tea. It just seems boring to me, okay? But that doesn't mean I'm going to shoot this game for that, just because it doesn't appeal to me. It appeals to a hell of a lot of people, and because it's improved, I can't shit on it. I'm just going to leave it out of the review, just because my opinion isn't really fair. You know what I mean? So anyways, I'm going to review this game. Really, really entertaining and interesting single-player campaign with improvements, a lot of improvements, with a really fun multiplayer with great environments and new classes and new abilities and things like that. Not classes, sorry, but like things you can do. Your customization is way improved. So what am I going to give Call of Duty Black Ops 2? While it is a shorter game, it is very similar indeed. Very similar, obviously, to previous titles. That's never going to change. It's Call of Duty. But I did have a lot of fun with it. And so that being said, I'm going to give Call of Duty Black Ops 2 an 8 out of 10. A really great game. I think everyone's going to enjoy this one if you try it out. I mean, if you haven't already, if you don't know and you've been like kind of like me and you're on the fence with Call of Duty Call of Duty games, you're like, you know what, they're pretty much just pumping them out like crazy now. Well, you know what? Treyarch, I remember when Treyarch was underneath Infinity Ward, and Infinity Ward was the better title. That torch has been passed to Treyarch. Treyarch makes the better Call of Duty game now, I can tell you right now. So good job, Treyarch. I had a lot of fun with Call of Duty. So that's it for this episode of the DanQ Review Super Show. Family Guy, piece of shit. Call of Duty Black Ops 2, a lot of fun. So, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this review. Stay tuned for more footage, lots to come. As we wrap this year up, it's getting to a close. Game of the Year videos and or top 10 games of 2012 videos coming up soon, as well as your guys' top 10 picks of favorite moments for 2012. I'll make special videos for those, but I figured I'd just let you know, remind you that those are still on the way. Thanks a lot, guys. Hope you enjoyed this review. We'll see you next time, and stay tuned for the footage. Have a good one, guys. Take it easy, and we'll see you next time.